Welcome back to Steel City Drones. I'm Dave King, and today it is very cold. We're out in the dead of winter here, and this is the first time in 13 days we've had any sunlight. So we're making the most out of it, and we're here to bring you a video that's going to show you a lot of the inspection capabilities of Drone Deploy. Drone Deploy has vertical mapping and facade inspection capabilities that I don't think anyone else has. And this is actually an exercise that we're putting into our online course that has over 20 hours of content. So we're going to walk you through what we're doing with the flight planning, the actual software, the features and the functionality. We're going to bring our data set in, process that data, and show you all of the really cool features with Drone Deploy. So let's get started. So I'm going to hit the plus button in the circle, and we're going to select facade mapping. And that brings up this right here, which you can see the flight path is where it says start and goes over in this green line. And the white line is a facade. And on the ends, you see dots on both ends, and we can change the length to match up to what we need. And we'll be able to rotate this around. So I'm going to get my approximate distance for what I want. Now, we're going to want to set this travel altitude to 90 feet. We don't need that to be that high, but it is nice to be able to have it go start off higher, then come down, just so that it's avoiding obstacles. So we're on location. We have our drone connected. We're going to go ahead and hit Start Pre-Flight Checklist. And when we hit Start Pre-Flight Checklist, and now the drone's going to take off and get up in the air, and it's going to go to its predetermined flight height first before it goes to the first waypoint. And now it's making its first flight over, going from right to left, and the camera is angled down 10 degrees. And right there, the height is perfect for this now. Once it completes the row, just like it did right there, aircraft yaws 90 degrees, drops down another 10 feet, realigns itself up, squares to the facade, and goes down to the next row. Right now, we're 6 minutes and 12 seconds into the flight with 137 pictures taken so far. When we click on satellite view, we can switch to vertical view, which gives us a whole snapshot vertically of our facade mission. And it shows exactly where it is in real time that you can follow along with the mission. So we're 38 feet high, still 1 mile an hour. Everything is very consistent. Gimbal's still a negative 10 degrees downward. Now that wraps up the first facade mission. We're going to come back on another day when it's cloudy so that the backside won't be in total shadows. We are back for day 2 here, so that we could go ahead and get the backside of the building in very good, even exposure. All of the other facade missions that we captured were exactly the same way without any issues, and the camera's framing allowed us to get all of the image data toward the ends without needing to adjust any of the flight lines on site. The last flight that we did included manual pictures that would have been very difficult, if not impossible, to capture using a normal programmed flight. Now this allowed us to be able to bring in various pictures into the project alongside the facade pictures we captured. So under New Flight Plan, we're going to select Manual Capture Media Manually. The drone will go ahead and do its normal pre-flight checks, and then we're going to get up in the air. So we're manually controlling the drone, and now what we're going to do is we're going to fly over to the far left side where all of the high trees are that would have made it impossible to be able to set up a normal facade mission there. we have to get really close to the trees, and we want to be able to make sure that we're doing everything very consistently at a safe distance. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go across the building, and we're going to keep the same distance away from the building and the same height away from the building, and just capture pictures every other 4 to 5 feet. So with that said, now that we captured everything that we need, we're going to go back to the office and upload all the data to Drone Deploy's cloud server. So it finished processing all of the flights that we uploaded. We want to go to the Explore tab in the upper left-hand corner, and that will allow us to see our various maps that we've created, as well as vertical facade missions. So let's start with the 2D, 3D overhead first. And this is our ortho mosaic. So we could export the ortho mosaic out. All of our other vertical inspection flight missions are also right here labeled. And over here in the left column here, you'll see they're also labeled as vertical inspections. So let's start with the front one right over here. All we have to do is click on this purple square, and then we can hit View. And this comes up with the 3D model for that facade mission. And right here you can see in the black, it has a lot of missing information because we were not necessarily focused on that when we were creating this. We wanted more of just the facade right here. If we really wanted to get the roof in here, we could have obviously started a little higher and been able to capture that entire roof. So if we want to get a closer inspection, we can stay in the 3D model and just zoom in like that. If we need to get higher level of detail, we can simply click on any one of these cameras to zoom in on any particular part of the model. So how we're going to do that, and let me just zoom out a little more first so that you can see what those cameras look like. In the upper right hand corner where the little magnifying glass is, comes up with Inspect 3D Model, and then you can see the tiny little cameras. So we can go ahead and click on any one of these cameras right here. So if I want to look at this window right here, I'll click on the camera, and that is actually the picture taken, and then we can be able to zoom in as needed. And then over on the left-hand side here now, all of the images for this specific facade mission are all here. And let's say I want to document this window right here. I think that's just a blind. That's bad. Not the window. So we could come over to here, and we can select the issue tool. And we can select an area. So we can draw any kind of shape that we wanted. We can set the title. We'll call this Front Facade Inspection. We can put in here blind is broken. Status is open. Severity, not on the highest of priorities, I would say minor. And then if you know the cost, we can put that in there as well. I made some more observation and notes on here. There's a few different air conditioners that I have noted that I said that air conditioners should be checked as an example. These wires right here, they look like they need to be checked. A couple more air conditioners that should be also checked as well. Over here, this is the manual pictures that we took for the out part of this facade. So we could go ahead and hit View. And that actually did a really good job with all things considering. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and make some observations and inspections and then come back. So I took a better look at the side of this building right here with the individual pictures, and I made the following notes. Over here is a cracked window. Over here is a cracked window. Over here is an open window. Cracked glass. Missing window completely, not boarded up. And when I click on that right there, you can see there, missing window, not boarded up. So all those observations have been made right here on this facade. Another thing we can do is take additional supplemental pictures near the ground. We can use a digital SLR or a smartphone and just take regular pictures. And that's what I did with this project. We took approximately 25 pictures near the ground, and what I did was I added them as a photo group and imported them that way. So we can click on any one of these and get a picture anywhere the drone really can't get a good shot. We can also turn on elevation, and under elevation tools, we can change the opacity. We can also turn on the point cloud. We can turn on contours. Now let's go to reports, and we can select them one at a time over here. So in addition to the actual issues that it's showing, any distant measurements we took, area measurements, volume measurements, and counts is also on this report as well. And we would be able to do that for each individual map that we have. So it gives us all the detail about all the issues that we created. The last thing we can do is we can share this project. So when we hit the share button, we can go ahead and invite people to the project. We can enter their email, and they can be set as a viewer only, or an editor or a coordinator. Again, this is only available for the advanced platform or higher. So that's everything with vertical inspections, facade inspections, and overall project management that we can use Drone Deploy for. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this project. Now let's move on to the next one. So that's just a recap of this exercise. The overall exercise is over 70 minutes of content in our online course. And our online course is over 20 hours of content with over 15 different practice exercises that we're including. We're throwing the whole kitchen sink at this course. We're trying to finalize it as quick as we can. I'm working night and day on finalizing it. We're hoping to have it ready at the beginning of March. So if you have any questions about Drone Deploy and or this exercise or even our online course, please put them down in the comment section below or reach out to us directly. So thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.